Self-encouragement. The lifeline you need when discouragement hits. What do you do when your prayers feel unanswered? When God feels silent, and the strength you used to have is depleting? Not surface-level encouragement, not motivational quotes. It's about the kind of strength you need when your soul is tired. Today, we're going deeper into what it really means to encourage yourself in the Lord when everything in you feels weak. 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 6 KJV. And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him. But David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. Because if you walk with God long enough, you will face moments where people misunderstand you. When discouragement or disappointment runs high, your emotions don't match your faith. And in those moments you discover something critical. Encouragement is not always given. It must be generated from your relationship with God. The reality of spiritual exhaustion. Sometimes you're not just tired physically, you're tired spiritually. You've been believing, praying, waiting, and still nothing seems to change. This is where many people quietly drift, not because they stop believing in God, but because they stop expecting anything. Spiritual exhaustion sounds like, what's the point? Maybe this isn't going to work out. I don't feel God anymore. But here's the truth. Your feelings are real, but they are not reliable indicators of God's presence. God does not disappear just because your awareness of Him fades. There's a powerful moment where David reaches emotional collapse. Everything is stripped away, support is gone, pressure is overwhelming. And instead of breaking permanently, he makes a decision. He encourages himself in the Lord. He doesn't wait for reassurance from people. He doesn't wait for circumstances to improve. He turns inward and upward to God. This is the turning point of maturity in faith. When you stop depending on external reinforcement and start drawing directly from God. The inner battle no one sees. Encouraging yourself in the Lord is not a moment, it's a battle. And the battlefield is your mind. Because when life gets heavy, your mind will try to rewrite your identity, magnify your fears, minimize your faith. This is where many people lose, not externally, but internally. The real danger isn't the situation you're facing. It's the narrative you start believing about it. If your inner voice becomes hopeless, your life will eventually follow that direction. So encouraging yourself is not optional, it's defensive warfare. Practical strategies. 1. Confront your thoughts with truth. You cannot passively listen to your thoughts, you must interrogate them. Ask, is this thought aligned with God's truth, or your fear? 2. Build a history with God. Remember God's faithfulness. He is working behind the scene. He makes all things beautiful in His time. 3. Surface-level faith collapses under pressure. But when you intentionally remember how God has carried you before, you build internal evidence. You're no longer saying, "I hope God comes through." You're saying, "I've seen him come through." That changes everything. 3. Separate God's character from your circumstances. One of the deepest mistakes people make is redefining God based on what they're going through. If things go wrong, they assume God is distant. If things delay, they assume God is inactive. But God's character is constant, even when your situation is not. Encouragement comes when you anchor yourself in who God is, not what is happening. 4. Practice silent trust. Even without emotional reward, there is a level of faith where you choose trust anyway. Even when there is no emotional high, no immediate breakthrough. Just quiet, steady confidence. This is mature faith. And this kind of faith builds unshakable strength. 5. Speak before you feel it. Many people wait to feel encouraged before they speak life. But spiritual order works differently. You speak first, then your emotions catch up. Your words create direction for your inner world. Here's what most people don't realize. When you learn to encourage yourself in the Lord, even when God isn't changing your situation yet, He's transforming you. You become less dependent on people's validation, less shaken by uncertainty, more grounded in truth than emotion. You develop spiritual resilience. And resilience is what allows you to keep moving, even when life doesn't make sense. Let's go even deeper. What if you do all of this, and you still feel nothing? No peace, no clarity, no relief. This is where faith becomes pure. Because now, you're not encouraged by how you feel, you're anchored by conviction. And conviction says, even if I don't understand fully what God is doing, I trust He is faithful, He working out His best plan for me. That is one of the strongest spiritual positions you can stand in. Encouraging yourself in the Lord is not about pretending to be strong. It is about knowing God as your shepherd, protector, provider, your defender, vindicator, deliverer, your all in all. Allow the all-seeing God to bring His perfect justice just as He did for Esther, Joseph, and David. It's about staying connected to the source of strength. Spend time worshiping God and reading His Word regardless how you feel. But every time you choose truth over fear, every time you choose trust over doubt, you are strengthening your spirit. And over time, you won't just survive difficult seasons, you'll stand firm in them. Thank God. Be grateful for what God removed from your life. They may be God's way of keeping you on the right path. Thank God for the wisdom and discernment and ability to see people more clearly. Thank God for today's hurt. It may be shielding you from greater pain ahead. Thank God for the wisdom and precious lessons that money cannot buy. I thank God for the grace to let go anything that does not align. Thank God for fighting your battles. Thank God for clearing the way, making space for the right people, the right situations, and the right doors to open in His perfect timing. By people who truly care and have your best interest at heart. Draw nigh to God, and He will draw nigh to you. James chapter 4 verse 8 KJV. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Psalms 138-8 KJV. Your future is in God's hand, and His has the final say. Now unto Him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 KJV. If this message reached you, don't just watch, respond. Comment this below. I will anchor myself in God. And share this with someone. And you never know who needs this kind of encouragement today. Even in silence, even in waiting, even in weakness, God is still your strength. Stay rooted. Subscribe and share on your notification to stay connected.